BLVE.LiveSports presents The Hot Seat, where the people have a say in how we play pickleball. Sponsored by Pickleball Euphoria, one of the hottest indoor pickleball locations in Louisville. Hosted by Brad Gatewood. Today's guest,
Hey, this is Brad Gatewood, and I'm here with Damien at the Hot Seat. And what we're talking about today is what's going on in Elizabethtown, Kentucky with the pickleball community. I've got a panel of members here with me today, and so I'm gonna let them introduce themselves.
I'm Melody Price. I am one of those old racquetball players that is now playing pickleball with Carl and his son and enjoying every minute of it.
And I'm Carl Gatewood. I'm just a local player, converted from racquetball into pickleball. And I'm bringing all those racquetball players with me.
My name is Larry Ventrees, and I'm fortunate enough to be the local ambassador for USA Pickleball in the area.
Larry, tell us a little bit how you got into pickleball and what's going on here in the community.
Well, I started playing about 8 years ago. Hardly nobody even hardly knew what it was, and I've seen it, of course, just explode like it has in all parts of the country. We decided late last summer that we should go to the city and try to appeal for outdoor courts because everybody's building them everywhere. So we did, and the city agreed to build 12 pickleball courts at American Legion Park here in E-Town. And hopefully they'll be done by the last August somewhere. And they're even planning on having a tournament, which is going to coincide with a harvest festival that whole weekend here. So everybody's excited about that. We're Derby City Pickleball, our sister group in Louisville, is going to help us put that on, and so everybody's really excited about that.
But great. Yeah. How was it working with the mayor? Were they real supportive?
They're really supportive, and about everything we're doing. I think they realize the growth of the sport around the country, and so from the day we made an appeal to them to do this, they've had just tons of support in the community about it. We've got a big sponsor that's going to help us with the tournament, and so yeah, everybody's really positive.
So Melody, you've been a big part of the local community. You know, you run the local text groups and the community chats and organize the daily play with most of our members. Can you tell us a little bit about how you've done that and the troubles you've had doing it and the successes?
So I took over the responsibilities of sending out texts to two groups probably about a year ago. I send them out to the Council of Fit Center, and I also send them out for HEARTLAND, the BLUEGRASS Sports Complex. I just send out general reminders about when we're playing and when we should be playing. So with the Council of Fit, we have a core group of 20 people that generally play, and I send out a text every night at 6 o'clock and try to have responses back by 8. We welcome everybody, and I try to get in touch with everybody who's interested in playing pickleball. So we do welcome everybody of any ability. If you're a starter, come out and play. If you're advanced skills, come out and play. We try to mix it up as much as possible to give everybody a learning chance or a learning chance in the sport. So once again, come out to your Council of Fit or come out to the BLUEGRASS Sports Complex and play some pickleball.
Fantastic. Hey, I bring a little bit different elements into pickleball, and one, I've got a pretty good military background. I retired out of Fort Knox with 20 years of service. So I know a lot of your military players. Again, I said earlier that I've converted from racquetball to pickleball. Since a lot of people are doing that, I'm just bringing a lot of the military community in. In addition to that, I've been sponsored with Engage Pickleball for several years, so I bring a lot of equipment into the area. I believe probably a good 90% of the people are playing with the Engage products. We have a few people that experiment with different paddles, but by and large, most are people with the Engage. And I pretty much provide equipment to anybody that wants it in ways I can order it, get a pretty good discount. For our military and our veterans, they automatically get a 50% discount on any paddle they want to order for Engage. So in reality, they can just go to their website, order whatever equipment they want, and then come on out and play. There are several players that show up daily that have spare equipment with them, so if you want to come out just to try it out, try out different paddles, come on out and join us anytime.
So Larry, you've been around since the beginning of pickleball in this area, and you've played at a lot of different places, set up a lot of new courts, and why don't you give us a little history of how pickleball came to be, how it's grown in the area, and how these new courts are really going to add to that or change it?
Sure. We had some people from Florida came up here in the summer and started showing the game to everybody. Of course, that's a lot of pickleball originated in Florida, if you look at the background of it, okay? And so when they came up here, we actually went to a place called Wesley Hilltop House. It's a senior citizen center way up there, and we had an old dilapidated tennis court with holes in it. So we set a court up there, and that's where we started. And from that, we evolved to a gym in Hodgenville, elementary school. We got to play in there. We actually went to the Methodist Church on Miles Street, and we had 3 courts there. And then we just kept evolving to places. Of course, being this far north, we're always looking for indoor facilities because, you're this far north. So Bluegrass Sports was good enough 3 years ago to help us get started there. We got 6 really, really nice courts there. And so like a lot of communities, I've seen the sport really evolve and grow, and to where it's at today, it's just absolutely huge and getting bigger every day. So it's kind of the background we have here, yeah. And something I want to add too, we started a Facebook page like 3 years ago called HEARTLAND Pickleball Facebook. Our friend Martha Hagan does a wonderful job running that, and so it's any news in the area, whether it be at E-Town Swim or our facility, Martha will have it on there right away. So that's sort of my background starting up to this point. And of course, we're really happy. We made the appeal to the city back in last year, like I said, last summer, about the new courts because they were building them everywhere. And so they reciprocated and improved the courts, and so everybody's so excited about their coming.
So in Elizabethtown, we have the average recreational player and people who come out just for fun and play every day, and those people are always welcome. But we've got a handful of super competitive players as well that love to travel around and go to the local tournaments. So I'd like to turn it over to you, Dad, and talk about how your competitive racquetball turned into competitive pickleball, and some of the local tournaments around the area that you've been going to and how those have been going.
Okay, great. Of course, I kind of start from racquetball. I played a lot of tournaments in racquetball when it was really big, so fairly used to a tournament almost every weekend. Pickleball, I started out pretty slow as far as being able to find tournaments to play in. But if you go online to just type in pickleball of any type, and you'll find tournaments. Every state has their own website where they break them down to where they're at, so you can find something pretty close to you. In this area, one of the big things to do is get yourself established and find out what your actual ability is. And if you think you already know, you sign up, go join a tournament, you can play in that ability group. I've already worked myself up to a 4.0 level, same thing with my son, but in this area we have quite a few 3.5 players, a few 4.0, and a couple of advanced players. So you can pretty well determine your group and then start looking for tournaments. In this area, I know Elizabethtown's building these new courts coming up, but prior to Elizabethtown, Charlie Ventner towards Louisville did basically the same thing. They built 18-court facility, same thing with Tom Sawyer. Those two places hold 2 or 3 tournaments a year, and it's reoccurring every year. And then as you get familiar with the pickleball group, you find a lot of side tournaments or just pop-up type tournaments. Come play for the weekend or overnight shootout, something like that. So there's plenty of opportunities to go out and test your ability. And if you don't know, just join a beginner's group and come on in and play some. And you'll get your rating, then you can go from there. And again, I'm kind of talking to the people that's competitive, that want to go out there and play for the competitive reasons. Recreational play, it's available here in E-Town just about any time you want to play. And then the ones we encourage everybody just to show up, meet the people, and then you can kind of subdivide yourself in whatever group you want to go to.
All right, so thanks everyone for coming out and discussing about pickleball here in E-Town and giving your thoughts and opinions on things going on in the community. If you want to find out more about playing here in town, check out the Heartland Pickleball Facebook page or the Elizabethtown Pickleball Facebook group. and get in touch with us. We'll get you on the text groups or come out to one of the open plays and hope to see you on the courts.